There we go. Testing, testing. Mic coming through. Nice. All right, you guys know the drill. Give it a few minutes. Let anyone come in who wants to watch. And then we'll get started with Bitcoin. I got about an hour, maybe an hour and a half today. Half of the market looks identical to itself, so, you know, I think we'll have plenty of time to look at what we need to look at. Gonna leave your cash on base and pun. I might actually take that piece to the bank. Take a little paycheck for July. I did pretty well on profit taking in March, April, and May, but I think I want to take some now. TAY short term, ebook fudged. Yeah, shit looks rough. I think we just keep chopping for a while, honestly. Okay, let's go ahead to the charts. How do I hide the overlay here? Nice. Yeah, short term, I mean, it's still pretty rough. You know, we're in a downtrend on the daily, on the 4-hour, all that stuff. Monthly still looks pretty healthy. You know, in regards to this kind of outlook, I still think we're going to hit 6-figure Bitcoin in the next, 6-12 months or whatever. But cyclically, this monthly cycle still might need to come down a little bit. You know, last time after the whole ETF talks began, we had about a half monthly cycle down. So that's something we could definitely see again, or we could see a full cycle down maybe in like October. I do think that we probably got most of the pain out of the way from 75K to like 53, but maybe we go a little bit lower, or maybe we just chop around for a bit. I think that definitely makes the most sense. And then come, election cycle time around November, I think things are going to start to really heat up again. Stock's going to keep ripping and crypto chops because Max Payne. Yeah, but I think crypto will catch up extremely fast eventually. Stocks look great. I don't think that's going to stop anytime really soon. I think we could probably see another 6-12 months of this. And I think crypto is going to play catch up extremely hard. Maybe not just yet, maybe not in July or August, but September, October, I think we're really going to start to play catch up a little bit there. Anyways, what I would like to see most is, kind of continue to chop around this general region. We got the 50K flush more or less that I was hoping for. I'd rather just get it out of the way. Slow bleeds are the worst. So just give me a big flush. That's fine by me. But I would love to see some chop consolidation into October while this monthly cycle comes down. And then that would set us up for a good run into the first half of 2025. But we'll see. For now, I think things look okay. We're still holding the monthly 8 EMA. We're sitting well below previous all-time highs. So if we're looking for support resistance levels, whether these really matter that much, I mean, I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt, I suppose. But I'm sure those could be impactful on the way up, as well as, the current range low was right around 57K. Let's change that. Right around 57K. We wicked below it. Now we're back above it. Ideally, we will respect this now that we've reclaimed it. If we start to lose that, it's going to be looking a little bit iffy. 57 is a big level. And on top of that, previous range low was around 59 from back in March. So I'd like to see us getting back above that within the next few weeks. But again, it doesn't really matter that much to me. If we chop for another month, 2 months, 3 months, I don't really care that much. Overall game plan is still the same. Second half of the cycle, rally into anywhere from 120 to 200K Bitcoin, and then dump sometime into this year, start of next year, middle of next year, something like that. Been taking profits in April, May, and June. Probably going to take some more this month. Even though I'm down from my high, big picture, still been a very profitable cycle. So I want to continue to take profits, whenever I feel like I want to. You said no leverage this cycle, but you and I both are tempted. I mean, yeah. I mean, I had a nice leverage swing trade on BONK and FLOCKY last month, and then I gave a good portion of that back, probably at least half of that back, trying to relong them on the way down. But overall, I mean, it was aight. But I'm tapping out. I'm tapping out on leverage again. It's just I'm just too greedy. I can't manage my greed quite well enough. Always got to size up a little bit more. But when I'm trading on spot, what I got's what I got. All right. Speaking of that cash on base, I need to check and make sure that I actually went through. I believe it did, but I need to double check real quick. Ah, yes. Very nice. But yeah, I'll probably take a small paycheck this month. Again, it always feels kind of shittier selling stuff on the way down, but I sold some stuff on the way up in here, and yet we're still way above that. So I would just take it for what it is, right? It's still all profits long term. Anyways, monthly, I would say neutral to bearish right now. Cycles coming down. Momentum has completely flatlined. Price action is coming down. Holding around the monthly 8 EMA is positive. As long as we stay above that on a closing basis, I still consider this, a long-term bull market. I mean, obviously, there's kind of two long terms, right? The real long term is like this, and that's just kind of permanent bull market. I mean, in theory, we could come down to like 20K and still, be in a long-term bull market. But for me, long term is more like, the next 6, 12, 18 months. And yeah, as long as we're above this monthly 8 EMA, all's well for me, right? Below that, I might start to reevaluate some of my mid to long-term positions. But for now, things look okay. Pretty much the same outlook on the weekly. I don't like that we made a lower low below 56K, but on the flip side, it kind of felt necessary. We just had this really kind of slow bleed here and then a final flush. So more often than not, a big candle like this at the end of a move tends to be, at least a local bottom. So fingers crossed for that. Again, it doesn't really change my outlook whether we go, a little bit lower to 48. But I do want to see recovery going into the election season in October, November. That's kind of a big, if we can't recover then, And into the holiday season, I mean, crypto might just be cucked, honestly. And again, you have the stocks ripping. Somehow we're not following that. The dollar's nuking. Somehow we're not, following the opposite side of that. It doesn't really make much sense. But I guess it just shows how PvP we are. And then the flip side, we've also got the Ethereum ETF. I know they delayed it. I'm not sure when that's supposed to launch. I think maybe, is it the 9th? I don't know. Anyone got dates on Ethereum ETF? I think it's the 9th, but they might have delayed it to late July. I can't keep up with it, honestly. But supposedly, that's coming pretty soon. I guess it's kind of a coin toss on what the demand is going to be like for that. I imagine it probably won't be as strong as Bitcoin, but I do believe it's still going to be very positive. Whether or not it's going to bring back Ethereum on-chain season, I don't really know. If it does, I think Pepe is going to be one of the most, simple plays to long there. But I really just don't know. We already retraced the entire Ethereum ETF pump back below 3,000 now. Big picture, again, just like Bitcoin, I don't think it's really that bad unless we start to crack below 3,000 on a monthly close. So we still got a few weeks for that. But if we do, I'll probably reevaluate long-term positions until we close back above it. Even if it ends up being something like, we close below the monthly 8, I'm taking positions off. We close back above, I'm buying back higher. I got no problems buying back higher, right? If it gives me trend confirmation, if I can catch this, I don't care if I get, fudged around in here. But I ain't going to hold through this. Not again. Anyways, back to Bitcoin. I think we could see some relief pretty soon, even just back to like 64K. But it's really a coin toss. We've got a lot of overhead right now. We've got the daily 8 EMA, the daily 200. We've got this whole kind of, underside level that was support. Now it could be resistance. We're sitting just above it right now. But if we start to get back below it, maybe that's going to be resistance again. I mean, you've got all your daily moving averages that rolled over sitting around, low 60Ks right now. On the 4-hour, it's just as bad. I mean, we had a very short-lived EMA trend break here, and then we immediately rolled over and got cooked again. Nothing really positive about this chart on lower time frames. Maybe if we put on, volume, at least we had a huge increase in volume. But again, is that going to be enough to save us? I don't really know. What's up, Smithy? Happy Sunday, homie. The 15th, you guess? I can't keep up with which date is the one that it's actually going to happen on. If crypto runs in 4-year cycles and U.S. elections are every 4 years, why is this different than other charts? Or is it different? I'm not sure I follow your question there, Plaza. I don't think this is really... I don't feel like this cycle is really that different. Other than we ran up naturally, since we ran up to the all-time high a lot faster, prior to the halving. I think it kind of makes sense that post-halving is going to be a little bit different as well. But in reality, I don't think it's really that different if we compare to previous halvings even. The last halving here was in May, and we went sideways for months after, had a nice DeFi summer, and then more chop. And then the big move came. Oh my gosh, my cat is so... All right, you're just going... Get on the window, you. And then prior cycle to that, halving was in July, something, can't quite remember. Dump, and then chop from middle of July, pretty much all the way until the end of the year. We're in middle of July now. And this did not rip until, the middle of December. And even then, it kind of just chopped until the big move came at the start of 2017. So I don't feel like this is any different than that. And then even previous cycle, I can't remember if I feel like the halving was sometime in here. Regardless, long period of chop until the start of the next year and then a big move. So it doesn't really feel like, and these are all election years, like it's being pointed out. Election would have been here in November, right? And then in 2016 in November, it just went sideways. And then once again in 2020, a little bit different, right? Post COVID, a little bit of a delayed run up to the all time high, whatever. But we didn't really do much in November. We kind of just went sideways here in front of the all time high. And then we started ripping into the end of the year and the start of the next year. All right. Please get down from my desk while you're blocking my monitor. I think my groceries are being delivered. Yes, yes. Occasionally, I will order groceries from the store. I don't want to hear anything about it. I tip super well, so. And my dog is going to be barking. I can't really do anything about that, so apologies. Just the noise about ETFs and having, still waiting. I mean, again, the halving was what? 2.5 months ago? Okay. I'm just going to mute my mic until she's gone. Just give me like 2 minutes. Oh, goodness. Right. Sorry about that, guys. Apologies. Dog's going crazy. See if we can get some light, too. You'll have to let me know if it's too loud or bothersome or anything. Still alive, boys. Still alive, man. You know, it's been a rough time since March, but big picture, I don't know about you guys, but still doing very well since the start of last year. I mean, I've taken cash out multiples of my beginning 2023 balance, down obnoxiously from my 2024 all-time high, for sure. I'm sure I'm getting outperformed by tons of people, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm happily transparent about it. I believe the latter part of the year will be better, but we'll take what we get. I missed your question, by the way, Plaza. Does it matter who wins the election? I don't feel like I'm the best person to really ask about that. I mean, I'm not super in tune with that stuff, but I feel like Trump is probably a better vibe for crypto. He's definitely been showing a more positive angle towards crypto, at least recently. I mean, I'm sure in the past he's called it a scam. Everyone basically did, but at least as of the last, 6-12 months, he's been pretty crypto positive. I don't think Trump likes crypto by any means or cares about it, but he probably knows it's good press to be crypto positive. It's going to sit well with a certain subsection of voters, so I think that's why he's doing it. I don't think it'll matter that much one way or the other. I guess it depends on what they're going to do with regards to, Federal Reserve policy and stuff like that. But again, it's kind of out of my playbook, right? Like, I'm not super in tune with that kind of stuff. Probably a better question for Basil. Anyways, I guess we're pretty much wrapped up on Bitcoin. Again, the only real plays I see here are, bid if you're confident that this holds. And, your risk is somewhere either below 53K or wide risk down, well below 50K. I don't think it's a great play. I think if you're going to bid, you just bid lightly on spot on the way down. I'd rather bid more on the way up with higher confidence that, we actually have a trend in our favor. Right now, there's no trend in favor of the bulls. And pretty much the same thing for ETH. I mean, if you're bidding here, I guess it's just a bet on the ETF being a massive success. We did wick below the low just a little bit, and we went all the way back below this massive ETF candle. I would like to see us reclaim that. I think that would be a really great sign for Ethereum if we can reclaim, 3,000 to 3,050, something like that. 48K to lows. I mean, it's just really tricky, right? On the daily, 49K is where Pi is at. So historically, that is where support tends to be. Even in like 2017, 2018, when the bull market was over, that was where we really bounced hard. We got a bounce from 6K all the way to 12K. So even if we're toast, I think we'll bounce off of Pi on the daily, which is right around 49.5. And then into the weekly, it's around 49 as well, the weekly bands. So I think it's a pretty good place. It's just so hard to have a to the T line in the sand. If your line in the sand was not here on a closing basis, I don't know where you put it. Yeah, I guess below 49, 48, something like that. But even then, you're starting to hit key, Fibonacci levels at that point. That's basically going to be a 50% retrace of this entire move up, which historically is not a bad place to make a long-term high or low. So I think it's just rough. I think if you sold well up here, I think you're pretty happy to just kind of be bidding anywhere in this general region. But not super high risk. Definitely not leverage trading, in my opinion. I mean, power to you. I just don't think that's worth it on the way down. Cycle up, cycle down. Kind of rather wait for that cycle to turn, get a nice up move, and then you can kind of hit the leverage a little bit harder later on if that's something you're interested in. I'm not feeling this music. What is night driving? Yeah. Anyways, enough on Bitcoin. And again, it's pretty much the same thing for Ethereum, other than you have the ETF confluence. So, I mean, someone said the 15th in here is when it's supposed to go live. So it sounds like you got a week to be positioned. If you think it's going to be a flop or just a big, pump and dump, I would just sit this one out. If you think it's going to be the start of a new trend, now is probably good a time as any to get it positioned. I mean, I don't think if the ETF is going to be a big success, I don't think we'll stay below 3,000 for very long. But on the upside or downside, however you want to look at it, we had the 200 as resistance, the daily 8 EMA, the bands, and horizontal swing high. So up to 3,500 could be pretty tough. But above there, we start to look really solid again. I see some frog enjoyers in the chat. Frog's been performing pretty nicely. I'm not super sold on these community takeover things. Like, I just think it's super hit or miss. But this has been holding up my portfolio nicely since I got in back at the end of June. But we'll look at some of that. A lot of on-chain looks horrible right now, so it's nice to have a couple things that look half decent. Anyways, let's do a quick run through of some of the centralized exchange stuff. Wample looks rough here. I mean, the weekly is basically the same as everything else, if you consider this kind of 53K Bitcoin, but it still looks rough. Hopefully we'll see some spot expansion soon. Again, DOGE, pretty much just like Wample, sitting below its 53K-ish Bitcoin spot. All these lows here. Looks aight. Big picture, I still think DOGE is probably the safest meme coin to be in, but this chart does not really inspire confidence outside of, you did have a break above the range high. Maybe you're making a higher low here for the next big push up, but this is not confidence inspiring at all. Once we can start clearing back above 13, 14 cents, I think it'll be okay, but for now it looks kind of rough. BONK somehow looks better than DOGE, holding its daily 200. 4 hour is still very much bearish, but at least it has some kind of range forming. I still think I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on whether an Ethereum ETF is good or bad for Solana. I think it's very good for Solana. I think if we get Ethereum on-chain season back, very quickly we're going to return to obnoxious fees, $100, $200 fees for every transaction, which will just have people flocking to Solana even harder. It's not like your average degen trader is investing in the ETF. No, they want to invest on degen stuff. And if fees are $200 a transaction, they're going to go trade on Solana. So I think that will be very good for BONK, the main meme coin of Solana. Maybe for WIF, but WIF has been looking, just as bad, if not even worse than BONK lately. So I'd say big picture, this chart still looks pretty good, but you always run the risk of, this just being a massive distribution after a 2 months 200x move, right? So maybe not the play for everyone, maybe not even worth it just for 2 to 5x it might pull off, but higher time frame structure is still pretty good until you start to lose like 1500 level. Not sure if I'm going to buy back in this cycle. Again, had a decent trade on it from 2,000 up to 3,000 or 4,000, but I don't think I'll be getting back in. Pretty much the same for Flocky. Retraced back to its 200. Doesn't quite look as good as BONK, but still technically a higher time frame uptrend. Sheeb looks bad. It's basically the same as DOGE. It's they're running neck and neck with each other. Doesn't look good. Dog with hat. it was nice to see a big engulfing candle here, and the highest volume on the chart since, basically the all-time high. I don't know if that'll be enough to turn around this downtrend. Market structure is still boned, right? All these lows got taken out. We couldn't get a excuse me. We couldn't get a full engulfing back above 265. We couldn't reclaim the weekly 8 EMA. Market structure is super boned on this one for now, like most assets in the market. But Sol, if you can, yeah, we'll do Sol for sure. I mean, everyone's going to be trying to figure out if this is the low, double bottom or whatever. Power to you. I would rather just be involved above bearish market structure, when a double bottom is actually confirmed. And of course, you run the risk of just breakout buying, but, at least then you could have, maybe a tight stop versus here. I mean, I think there's like a 90% chance that these lows will get run. Even if we're going to run big, I feel like these stops are going to get hit. Pepe, super weak, honestly. I mean, nothing but lower highs. Big picture, still in an uptrend. I mean, plenty of room to make a higher low, even down to 4,000. But I would really not like to see a full retrace. Ideally, something like BONK, where it retests the 200 and then starts to slow grind up. But for the most part, this is just a complete beta of Ethereum, right? If Ethereum ETF is successful and causes a big move, I would expect Pepe to do the same regardless of current price action. Looking at Solana, pretty similar chart to Dog with Hat, although one of the few that did not break its April-May lows, which is pretty confidence-inspiring. If you guys aren't familiar with Blockcircle, this is what our momentum bots actually trade. Been really profitable over the long term. I mean, this is $5.8 million profit starting from a 10K balance back in 2020. Solid profit factor, max drawdown 35%. Anyway, it's been getting chopped around a little bit. Currently, I want to say the bot is short from 140. So, take it with a grain of salt, if you will. I don't know if I really care to short this here, but, I could see the bots thinking, right, on the 4-hour, this looks kind of rough, right? We had a little bit of a relief bounce off the lows, and then that 4-hour trend got cooked. Now we're bouncing back up, and this little 1-hour trend is also starting to get cooked. So if we start to roll over here, I mean, it's probably going to be cooked. But, we'll see. Big picture, I like Solana. I just don't think I can bring myself to buy here. And if we start to lose 135, 130 again, I mean, this might be going back to double digits. Strong reclaim of 155, though. That is the thesis for a long. Right, like consider even last time, right? If you start to break out long here, by the time you start to consolidate a higher low, I mean, you have super clean risk reward right below your entry. So yeah, maybe you don't gain a lot if it's a fake out, but you might not lose a lot versus if you're trying to buy all the way down. Ample NMT both lost structure. Yeah, I mean, daily structure's kind of cooked on pretty much everything since Bitcoin lost daily market structure back in the middle of June. Pretty much everything has kind of done the same. So it's really, it's really not that surprising, honestly. Most things are not just going to run by themselves in a bearish environment like this. NMT, we haven't looked at NMT in a while. Yeah. I mean, again, since the middle of June, Bitcoin lost its market structure. Pretty much everything else did. I mean, that's pretty typical. Everything's super correlated. That's why no shame people want to de-risk here. I mean, you know, yeah, it would have been better to de-risk up here. And if you de-risked up here, I mean, this is probably a level you're happy to start getting exposure again. I don't know if this is the bottom, but I think after, you know, 2 or 3 months of chop, we're going to start to begin that big move up to 100K Bitcoin. So I'm personally not reducing exposure on my favorite positions like Ample Fourth. Yeah, the negative rebase sucks. You know, like most other altcoins right now, you're sitting down pretty heftily from its intermediate term high, but you know, that's part of the risk, right? Talk about render. Ooh, haven't looked at render in a while. Nice hold of pi on the daily. Not too dissimilar from Bitcoin, right? Just running these lows. I mean, that's some pretty good risk reward down below like 540-ish. You really don't want to close below the 8 EMA on the monthly, so I would want to see a retrace back above like $7 by the end of the month. What's the most price history for this one? Is it KuCoin? Yeah, so I mean, you're kind of sitting on the general old all-time high as well. I don't know. I think there's a pretty clear line in the sand here, down below, you know, down below 520 or 540 or something in this general region. If you can hold there, things look pretty good. If not, I don't know, it looks kind of rough. Also want to take into consideration the last big move up. This one came from this level, so maybe, you know, you just load up lightly. If you really like it, load up lightly and then wait for that level to be run and then reclaimed before getting any kind of exposure. I would not expect it to outperform Bitcoin. Or rather, I would not expect it to go in the opposite direction of Bitcoin, right? If Bitcoin and Ethereum continue to be weak, I don't see any world where this coin just starts ripping. Just being frank, I mean, there's pretty much nothing that looks even remotely decent right now. Ton looked pretty good, still looks okay. But after this sell-off, I wouldn't be surprised to see this just roll over if Bitcoin does as well. Ondo, another one that looked really good and now completely lost market structure. Just completely cooked. What's another one that had looked good? I mean, BNB had looked really good for a while, completely lost it. Fetch had a nice bounce off pi, fully retraced. What else? ENS, again, probably one of the best beta plays to Ethereum. And also just one of the best charts in the whole crypto space right now. Even that, even that is looking a little bit rough here. I mean, at least, you know, one of the only charts maybe that is making higher lows in front of June levels. You know, most stuff since June looks pretty much like this. So this is probably one of the best charts in crypto right now. Chainlink cooked, Matic cooked, SNX fell. Man, Matic is one we should have been shorting all year long, honestly. I mean, after this trend break, this should have been free shorts to hedge. I just got too suckered into not wanting to trade on margin at all. Jeez, OP is cooked as well. Stacks is omega cooked. Size cooked. Everything is just so cooked right now. So pretty much, if Bitcoin can't recover from this general region, I mean, everything's just toast. Everything toast until 2025. Show us the frog chart. It's a good chart. It's a clean chart. Little consolidation here. Next big move up. Little consolidation here. And now we've kind of started this next nice move up. What kind of targets are we thinking for okay, easy on the frog spam, folks. Come on. What kind of targets are we thinking for something like this? I was thinking like 50 to 100 million kind of makes sense. Best CTO I've seen since WIF. Yeah, I can't really comment much on that. I don't really do CTOs that often, so I don't really have a lot of variety in involvement there. I don't got a lot to compare it to, but in general, I don't typically like CTOs. 50 million, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm sure a lot of people are targeting hundreds of millions and stuff like that, which I think is possible, of course. I mean, you know, but you know, we hit 10 mil, right? I guess this was about 10 mil on the all-time high. Maybe we pull back to low 1000s, you know, kind of continue this trend, and then slowly but surely pick up some steam. I think 50 million makes sense. If this actually, you know, can garner some attention, I think it looks good. I mean, most things on chain do not look this good right now. Hard to say whether it's just propped up, but you know, I think Frog is one of the better looking ones. I also think Peace Frog is kind of interesting as well at only 600k market cap. What else? Spurdo, I think, looks half decent on chain. Boop. I really want to like Boop, but man, Arbitrum is just so sad. It's just so sad. QSwap kind of falling off. Again, basically just a bet on whether the tech is actually going to be a success or not. All organic. There's no way to really know that, right? I ain't trying to fill my own bag or anything, but there's just no way to really know that. Depends on network effect. Absolutely. Absolutely, dude. I think it's possible. I mean, they're clearly showing that there is interest in their coin right now. And I think their marketing is fun. You know, they market to other big crypto accounts. They make memes of them, profile pictures of them. I think it's cute. Hopefully they don't try and go the utility route. It's honestly best to probably stay away from that. But yeah, it looks good. I mean, it's the best looking chart in my portfolio by far. And I don't think it's my biggest position by any means, but you know, it's a top 5 position for me for sure. All right. And outside of that stuff, I mean, utility season, I really want to have some nice utility bags, but things just kind of seem cooked. I mean, let's check on the OXO crowd. Yeah, it's cooked. I mean, Ator's also cooked. PAL, that used to be a good AI bag. Damn, only 240k volume. Like all the old utility coins that were fun. Oh, what about Banana Bot? I mean, still one of the best charts. The last time we really charted it, $6. Still one of the better charts in crypto for sure. Okay, maybe Banana's worth keeping eyes on. Hoppy. What is this meme coin? Talking about frog looking amazing. I mean, this shit is crazy. Hopefully my boppy bag will follow. Look at metal bad mad robots. Okay. Is it? Which one is it? Is it on? Surely it's not on Polygon, right? Bad mad robots. It is. I'm gonna be real. I think Polygon is a just dead chain. I think anything on there is just asking to be dead. Had a ton of volume and interest back here. You had a fat 20x into like a 200x. But this chart looks cooked to me. I mean, this looks like a lot of bags I have, honestly, that just look cooked. See, Brand has the right idea. Better off waiting for Bitcoin to heal and loading a new coin that launches and goes on a run all day. All day. Makes no sense to blow your load on, 5 or 10 coins now, instead of just waiting for something new that launches and does a setup like this, right? Wait for something new that launches, does something like this, and you just ride, right? And you take your initials and then you keep riding. Like, that is honestly the play. Like, buying stuff like this, I mean, it could work out. All right, we've all seen it work out. But I mean, even if this bottoms, I mean, you were probably asking for months of chop. And then, the potential of this being the big top, you chop out of the range and you just make a lower high. And that's that, right? I think you're just better off waiting for Bitcoin to heal, do something like this on some new coin, something like this, and then try and get involved at these points. That's the sad cycle we're in, honestly. You can't load up, quote, quality projects, right? Projects that look like they're actually doing interesting stuff. You just load up the new shiny bullshit and then sell it as quickly as you can, basically. No paid KOLs, 100% organic. I hear you. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, that'd be nice. I think having KOLs is absolutely retarded. Any new coins you've heard about? Not particularly. I mean, I only got in Frog, a couple of weeks ago. And then, I've been looking at Peace Frog, which is essentially Pepe before it was Pepe. But again, total coin toss, right? I've been keeping my eye on Boppy, but I'm not buying it. I sniped this on launch back here, and I just forgot I had it, and now it's starting to do stuff. Not really. Again, I feel like it's just really, really high risk to be buying into new stuff right now. Nothing is really interesting. And honestly, God forbid being interesting nowadays. Being interesting almost feels like a damn death sentence. You're better off just being a kind of a joke. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I try and keep my eyes, ears open and all that stuff. And I still get people hitting me up in the messages all the time about their new launches and this and that, but I don't know, man. Just feels kind of sketch. Everything just feels kind of sketch right now. What is spread at 1.9? Okay. Yeah, everything's just fucking boned. Anyways, yeah, portfolio is kind of drying up in terms of options. Like, you know, previously there'd be a lot of things I wanted to add to, but now I don't know. There's not really that many things I really want to add to. Are you an NMT? No, I was an NMT at like $2 to $3 when it first launched. Made some good money on it. Then we all got rugged. Got out. Still in profits, thankfully. But no, I haven't really touched it since then. Lost too much on Froge. Bruh. Option trade been praying. Dude, I know. Isn't it sad that we would all been better off just trading stocks since like April? I mean, there's been multiple clean setups. Like just easy stuff that pays, you know, clean breakout trades. I mean, clean engulfing setups, clean breakout trades, clean engulfing setups. Like it just trades like it should. I mean, then look at this. You just buy every high or low. Just buy every engulfing set. I mean, it's crazy. And then you get flushed out, and the very first setup is the bottom. I mean, like, what are we doing in crypto? What are we doing in crypto? We're trading like this. Actual dog. DAI and desync. I do not recognize those. I feel like we've looked at those before, but yeah. Cooked. Ain't no shot. This is 150 million market cap. I mean, good lord. This launched at a penny and ran to 50 cents in like a week. I mean, who could be surprised that it's cooked now? Current regime wants to kill crypto. It does kind of feel that way sometimes, but I don't see it happening. Hatcoin on BNB. It's cooked. It's cooked, bro. You know, it's a gamble. You want to buy back where it started to take off. Power to you. And it's like, oh, maybe it'll just end up like this. You know, this looked cooked too, and then it ripped. I would rather buy, at this point, right? At least then you have a breakout above a bearish local high, and then, then the big move happens, or even just, on a candle like this, right? But just buying on the way down, I think it's just a terrible idea. At least wait to take out this high. Anyways, it looks bad, but it looks like, half or 80% of on-chain coins right now. I don't think it looks, any worse than everything else. DDC on Solana. Dead dad coin? You serious? This is what we've evolved to. Ran about 20x from the lows. I mean, it looks all right. It's dead dad coin. I don't know why. I don't see that going very far. I guess you can gamble on whether this is going to actually end in a breakout higher. It's hard to not be biased about this. I mean, it just sounds like a kind of shit idea for a shit idea for a coin. Of course, you had Jews did 9/11 going up like 100x at one point. I can't believe we didn't catch the cycle top on that stuff. How did we not? What were we all thinking when inward coins and anti-Semitism coins were going 100x? Like, I don't know, man. Stuck in a damn bubble. That's what we were doing. It's time to bank on. It's time to bank on Frog, man. Save me from my sins. What is 50 million like? 001-ish? Something like that? Or 0001? Something like that. The question is how many people bought back here that are still waiting to dump for like a 20x right now? How many of the people that are actively pushing this are just the guys that bought here, insiders, and are just trying to hold as long as they can before nuking it out? I guess most people dumped it though before the community takeover, at least. Did you have a good 4th of July? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I can't remember what we did. I think I just hung out with my fiance most of the day. We had plans to go over to our folks, but I don't know. Everyone was just so tired that we ended up not doing it. Yeah, it was solid. 4th of July is always such an odd holiday. Like, nothing but love for the troops, nothing but love for being in a wonderful country, but kind of nothing but hate for the government and the overarching power structure and all that. It's kind of weird. It's like you want to just support the troops, but at the same time, you're kind of supporting everything you hate about America. It's an odd holiday for sure, but I don't know. Good time to eat good food, get drunk with friends, I guess. Ignore the fact that you're kind of supporting some bullshit. Anyways, it's a good time. All right, what time is it? 4 or 5? I could probably vibe for a little bit longer, then I'll have to call it. I haven't eaten anything all day, so I'm starving. You boys been trying to lose weight. Bull market's been making me chunky. Don't you have a troop day other than the 4th of July? Yeah, Memorial Day. It's back in May, I believe. But again, it almost feels anti-American to not get hyped for the 4th of July, but I don't know, man. Oh, today's the 7th. Ooh, do we get new Tower of God? Oh, only one episode. No, I thought we were getting like a triple premiere. No shot. Damn. Oh well. At least we get one episode this week. All right, thanks, Plaza. Take care, homie. We'll vibe for a few more minutes, see if there's anything else to look at. Checking out Twitter, see if there's anything hot today, but for the most part, market just feels super cooked, heavily PvP. You know, everyone's happy to sell a damn 2x nowadays, so nothing can really run. NPC, someone had said. I remember that had really good structure for a while. Was it non-playable coin or non-player character? I think it was this one. This had some of the best structure in the market for a while. I guess it's about to be toast now. Pretty much nothing's been able to hold up this destruction. What was another one? Oh yeah, Pepe coins. Also just cooked. I mean, it honestly feels like cycle top. I'm almost certain it's not, but man, the vibes, the charts, altcoins just feels like some cycle top shit. We haven't looked at the total charts in a while. I mean, it doesn't really look that bad. It looks pretty normal. I mean, yeah, I guess it doesn't really look that bad. Is that what we're on? Total 3. What's the others? Here we go. About the same. I guess it's just an overreaction. It's not really that bad. What about Beam? Yeah, good looks. Haven't looked at that in a while. Oh, no. That is cooked. Cooked out the ass. Again, everything is, so is it that different than everything else? Not really, but that looks terrible. Yeah, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Let's see. Yeah, we checked PAL earlier. Honestly, dude, hate to break it to you, that shit looks cooked. I mean, pretty much all those the AI coins that had a good run end of last year, they look cooked. You know, everything's basically topped since middle of March when Bitcoin topped out. You know, while Bitcoin chopped, most altcoins did this. You know, Bitcoin would make a pretty much equal lower high, and altcoins would be making drastically lower highs. And this is a great example of it. Doesn't say anything bad about the project, but you know, I mean, it went from half a penny to almost $1. So I don't think it's too surprising what it's doing. The damn cooked. Oh, major cooked, dude. The one I thankfully didn't bag hold all the way back to 0. What in the hell happened here? Is that a misprint? It's not. What the heck? Did this get rugged? Only 67K liquidity? Did they rug? Oh shit. Does anyone know if they rugged? 67K liquidity is terrible, and this looks like a sell-off to 0. That was like a week ago. Can we find history of that? It was... Okay, yeah, 7 days we know, but how much? 7 days, it doesn't say how many hours. That's fine. I'm very curious what happened. It happened at 0062. They seemed very professional. I'd be surprised if they rugged. I mean, this is some pretty heavy selling to barely move price at 60K liquidity. Let's go back to 8 days. Here we go. Yeah, like here's a 17 ETH sale, and it barely moved price from 7.2 to 6.2. But now there's not barely even that much liquidity. Someone must have removed. I want to see if it was the team though. I mean, nothing really obnoxious. I guess there's just not that much liquidity left in it. A 4K sell. I don't know what the hell happened there. Anyways, yeah, Fidam is cooked. How about Creso, man? Y'all seen the destruction of Creso? Horrible. One of the worst things I've been a part of, honestly. All right, my stomach's starting to freak out, y'all. I think I'm about to just wrap it up here. Been a pretty solid stream. I know we had a lot of frog enjoyers in the chat. Fingers crossed we can all print pretty well on that one. I could definitely use a nice dub. News to nobody. It's been a rough few trading months for your boy. Ain't no shame in it, but damn, it's been rough. Anyways, I want to thank everyone who tuned in today. Much love to all you guys. I really appreciate your support and being here. Hope you guys found it entertaining, educational, all that good stuff. And as always, all the glory to God. Thank you, Jesus, for another wonderful stream. Thank you for all these wonderful people that could be here. I pray we can all have wonderful success in this market over the coming year, and that you'll continue to watch over and support us each and every day. Thank you to you guys. Make sure you call your loved ones. Tell them you love them. Hit or miss when I'm going to do another public stream. I'm trying to do them every couple of weeks, but I don't think I've done one in a month or so. So we'll have to see. Hopefully I'll be back in a couple of weeks. If not, we'd love to have you guys in Blockcircle. We do 2 streams a week, every week. And that's just me. We have maybe a dozen other people that are streaming for Blockcircle as well all throughout the week. So we'd love to have you guys there. Feel free to check us out at blockcircle.com. And until next time, for Blockcircle, guys, I'll be back on Wednesday around 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern time. And then next Sunday again, same time as today, 3 p.m. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for tuning in. Much love. Be safe, be smart, and peace out.